Ben on Monday to try to get Jaylen a few more snaps. Obviously, you didn't have a ton of snaps in the game. The 3.5 was a big factor, but had you and Mike wanted to get him more work?
Yeah, we want to get all those guys work. The hard part is there's one ball for three guys that we have in that room right now, and I have confidence in all three of them. You know, Ali has come in as a young guy and done a great job. Jaylen has really, taken a step forward, and Devon, I think, is playing really well too. So it's just hard when you have one ball for three guys.
Obviously, the run game is always going to be important, but with a rookie quarterback starting, just how much more important is it going to be this week?
I think you said it exactly right. It's always important. You know, it's not a rookie quarterback. There's games when you want to be able to run the ball, and we always want to be able to run the ball effectively and efficiently. And the best way that we can help Quinn is to make sure we're ready to contribute in the run game, pass protection, routes, whatever that is, to support him and his opportunity here. But it's our opportunity as well as his, so we want to make sure that we're on top of our responsibilities.
What can you tell us about the offensive line's role in the success of this run game from the standpoint of, we know this is a very agile, athletic offensive line. How big a factor is that in the success of the run game?
Well, I think it plays into our scheme. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's the scheme, it's the personnel, it's the techniques that we use up front, it's the aiming tracks that we use in our room. It's where our eyes are. It's how the wide receivers block. I mean, the run game, when you're running the ball well, it's truly all 11 people on the field doing the right things. And so the offensive line has done a great job up front. Those guys, Brew gets those guys set up and gets them going the right directions to people. The tight ends have really done a good job for us. And I think the backs are really trying to maximize the looks that they're getting on the runs. And so it's a group, truly a group effort when you have success in the run game.
I know you're probably more process-driven than looking at stats, but Devon is having a top 5 all-time franchise rushing season. He has a real shot at being number 2 on that list. So what do you think that means? Does that signify something to you?
To me personally, I'm happy for Devon. That's, I think he's put a ton of work in. He's incredibly competitive. He's an excellent professional in how he approaches what he does, and I think that's the fruits of his labor. It's, I just have a great seat to be able to sit and watch it and watch what he's doing. But it's all the credit goes to him and what he's done and what this offense has done, because he needs everybody else too. I mean, it's his stats, but there's a lot of, just as I mentioned a second ago, it's a lot of other people that are involved in those stats too.
If I ask you to make the case for Devon making the Pro Bowl, what would you say?
I'm incredibly biased on that. I hope what people see on the tape when they watch Devon is his production and the things that he's done this year. Certainly, there's outstanding running backs in this league all over it. I think he's played really, really well, and when you put on the tape, I think that shows up when you really study it, and I think he's very deserving of an opportunity like that.
Eric, the numbers now for Ollie: 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 2 this year. 10 for 15. He's converted, but obviously 3 critical ones he hasn't converted since we talked to you last. Yeah. Washington, New Orleans last week. Mm-hmm. On each of those 3, if you can think back, was there much culpability for him, or was it a blocking issue primarily on each of those 3?
Individually, I think when I think about those plays, again, there's lots of things that happen on plays. Could we have been better, things better maybe at the point? Could he have made a better decision? Could he have done different things? That's what we go back and correct, so we try not to make the same mistake twice. I think if I'm settling on something with Ali, it's that he is really embraced his role, and that he's come in, he's given us a spark in an area where, we needed a spark, and I think he's done a really good job in those things. Could we do better in some areas? Absolutely. Do I wish we had some of those plays back? Yes. But they're all learning experiences for us and for him, and I think he'll continue to get better from all of those.
He was really offended that on the New Orleans play, Mark Schlereth of Fox said that he danced on the play. He said, "That's ridiculous. I didn't dance." On that particular play, did he hit the hole quickly, and has that been an issue at all on any of the 3 failed ones?
you know, when the hard part of coaching running backs to me is that when you sit with a clicker and you run it back and forth, you get multiple perspectives on what happens. When we call that play between 1 and 4 on Sunday, that kid gets one shot to go at that place. He's got to make a decision, a split-second decision against some of the best athletes in the world and the best people doing this. And so can you second-guess it? There's a bunch of things in games we can second-guess. In that moment, these guys are doing everything they can to execute and make a play. And I don't think Ali turned anything down, and I would never say that because I've been around that kid. He's competitive. He's passionate about this game, and I just don't think that that the inference that he would turn something down is fair.
Kind of pinpoint one thing that you would like to see him improve on, maybe as far as decision making or whatever, what would you say?
The biggest thing I'd like to see him improve on is his pad level. I think for a big back, one of the things that he, is going to be a problem for him in time as he gets more carries is guys don't want to tackle him because he's big and strong. And so what happens is those bigger backs like that, and, you look at, I think Derrick Henry has that. You just think about some of the bigger backs that have come through the league that then all of a sudden they start getting hit in their legs a lot. And so him being able to lower his pad level going through contact is going to be an advantage for him going forward. He does it at times now, but it's got to be in there. He's just used to kind of running through people. And in the NFL, these are big guys, and some of these guys, even the corners and safeties, are going to tackle him low because they're not going to want to get run over or carried an extra 4 or 5 yards if they don't have to.
You mentioned earlier, Jaylen taking a step. In what areas have you seen him grow this season, and where would you still like to see some growth?
Yeah, Jaylen, I think the biggest thing, and I think it happens to a lot of players at multiple positions, is just the knowledge of the system and the expectations of assignments and details and all those little things. There's so much that we put on these guys, and they go through it, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh man, I could have done a little bit more. And I think there's a growth pattern that happens with everybody in that, hey, it's not just my plays or these plays that they told me about. I've got to be ready for all these plays. So if it's a New York Jets game and he's got to go in, those aren't Devon's plays anymore. Those are his plays. So he's got to go in and do and execute those at a high level because that's what we need him to do. And I think that's where he's grown tremendously with those things. Where would I like to see him continue to develop? I think all around same things I push with all the backs. We have to develop to be complete backs all the time. And there's always stuff, whether that's running routes, there's making guys miss, that's cutting efficiently, blocking and pass protection, catching the ball. Where our eyes are, discipline on our tracks and run, all those things are things we're constantly working on. So that list of what we can improve on is that. I think my job is that's a never-ending trail. We don't ever want to get to the point where we're like, okay, we got everything done, we're good, we don't have anything else to work on. I don't ever want to be there.
Question for Eric Studesville, the associate head coach,
Okay, there
right?
we go. Yep.
And former interim head coach.
Yes, former.
Yes. So late in last week's game, there were some TV images of Jaylen Waddle on the sideline smiling. There were images of Tua conversing with Jalen Ramsey after the game. He seemed to be in a good mood. And I asked Frank Smith about this, and he said, that's just isolated images. You don't know what was going on. We don't expect our guys to be, pissed off all the time. For you, do you mind that kind of stuff? Would that be kind of a tiebreaker when you look at, demoting Tua? How do you handle that? What is your impression of that?
Are you talking about like post game, or are you talking about during the game?
Late in the game with Waddle, and then post game with Tua. Because the fans are saying it kind of looks like they're having a good time during a loss that they don't really care. Yeah. Would you talk to them about that? Is that a non-issue?
I think the best way to answer it is that this is a very fraternal existence that we're in, players and coaches. One of the most interesting parts of the game to me, I think if people saw it, is the 2 hours before a game. If you go out there and you see all of us as coaches that are out on the field, guys that you worked with before, you're meeting new people, young coaches, whatever, we're socializing, we're interacting, we're happy for those people. We're asking about their kids, we're asking how you doing, how's this, how's everything going? Because we have ties with each other. Now, that hour, then all of a sudden before the game, we split up and we're trying to go and we're trying to get after each other professionally, which is what we do. And then as soon as the game's over, we come back together. We just want everybody to be safe, healthy. Hey, how you doing? Take care of yourself. You know, I'll talk to you soon, whatever that is. And so we're focused and locked in during the game. I don't think there's any question that. Is there times when you smile? Yeah, when you score, a guy should smile. Does a guy have to be serious and locked in and that he can't enjoy scoring a touchdown? I don't think that's the case either. So there's going to be emotions. This is an emotional game. You cannot play this game in a static state. I just don't believe that. And so to see the ups and the downs when people are angry or yelling and cussing and throwing stuff, that's a part of this game, and the smiling is the other end of the spectrum. So I think that's just the human experience in our game, and it's one of the great parts of our game that you get to see a whole person.